Hi, I'm David Norris, and I'm serving up the perfect podcast, Pompey Platter with Russ, Daz and Haz. Play up, Pompey.
He used to be a waiter, did David Norris? Well, he's served up the perfect cocktail here.
It back to goal, Lang. Needs a bit of help. Goodness from Lang. What can he do? Still there, Lang. Lang! You wouldn't believe it! Cross comes into the near post. Headers into the net! Short to see! Surely Pompey are heading for the championship! Portsmouth are promoted as League One champions!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 15 of the Pompey Patter podcast. This episode is called Pompey On The Up. And I am joined by Russ and Haz. How are you doing, boys? You okay?
All good, thank you.
Nice positive week to talk about, which is very exciting.
We're out the relegation zone.
Yeah. And I'm glad we actually stayed out of it, like with the games yesterday as well. So that's nice. But so since we last did the pod, we've picked up 4 points, scored 3 goals in 2 games, one place out the relegation zone while conceding 0 goals. I did a little 4-3-2-1 there, 0 there. So this evening we are going to be reviewing the Bristol City game, then reviewing the Norwich City game. Then it's talk of Derby County tomorrow evening. Then Haz Vs Daz, Harry's Who Am I? And then we'll have a bit of any other business. So let's crack on, shall we? We'll start off with the Bristol City review, and let's go with Russ. What's your thoughts on the first half against Bristol City?
I thought we were outstanding from the minute we kicked off, didn't we? But it was there was a point in the game. I turned to my dad and I said, "We really need to score while we're on top here." I said, "We need to get a goal." I said within the first 25 minutes, and luckily, I think we scored bang on the 20th. Because they just started to look like they might end up starting to control the game a little bit, and then another bit of a sort of brilliant. What's the bloody word? I've forgotten what it is now. Wrong, completely blank.
Magic?
No. Pressing. Sorry. Absolutely lovely bit of pressing again, which is what we've been really good at lately, and it just took them off by surprise. And we absolutely punished them for it, and it weren't the first time in the game that it happened. And if you, I don't know if you boys have seen the goal back much, but I noticed that if you look at Matt Ritchie, you can actually thank him for the first goal more than anyone else, which sounds bizarre because he didn't actually touch the ball. He went mental at Potts for not being further up the pitch for the press. I don't know if you boys see it. If you haven't, go and watch it back. He literally is shouting his head off at Potts. Potts then goes to press, and because of that initial press by Potts, it then goes out wide to Murphy. Murphy then does excellent. And then, Bishop's there. And I thought the Bristol City goalie made an outstanding original save. I couldn't believe he saved it. And then, luckily for us, it came back and Bishop managed to finish it off. But, I thought Regan Paul was back to his best. I thought he had an outstanding game. I thought everyone played well. I'm a bit annoyed with my predictions a little bit because if I'd known Twine wasn't playing beforehand, I definitely would have gone for a win. Because they just looked like nothing without him, really, didn't they?
Yeah, that's when I saw that Twine was on the team sheet. I got to admit, I was quite relaxed about the game anyway, but it did give me that just a little bit of extra comfort. Do you think them not having Twine really affected them, or do you think even if he was in the side, that we still would have especially been as positive as you were in the first half, Russ?
I don't think it would have made a massive difference, but he's the player which we talked about beforehand, that he can literally pop up and do something from anywhere on the pitch, literally. And not having that key player on the pitch for them, it showed for me that there's a few people raving about the winger. I can't think. I think he's what's he?
Harry knows how to pronounce his name. What's his name?
Fuck knows.
Mehmeti,
Mehetni, whatever you want it to be.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, exactly.
Was it him that people were raving about?
Yeah, because
I
went to say he was going to score for them in our predictions.
Yeah.
But
And
I think they kind of I think actually, sorry, Russ, I was just going to say I think his performance was probably affected by the fact that Twine wasn't there to link up with as the 10, because they're so used to playing with each other all season so far. Having someone else as that 10, I think probably the connection with that player there wasn't as there as it would have been if it was Twine.
Definitely, 100%. But people afterwards going, "Oh, what a player!" And I thought, no, the one they were going on about was that Hariaku, Yo.
Oh, you.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, the number 7.
Yeah, people were going, "Oh, what a player he looked," and things like that.
I looked like fairly decent. I thought he's definitely a flair player. He definitely got something there.
He just reminded me of Owen Dale.
Oh,
he's the sort of player that if you see him once, you go, "Oh, he looks like he could be tasty." But I just thought he had it baffled me, and I even watched it back. And I thought the bloke couldn't get past Ogilvy, who's our worst player, so he can't be that good.
No Ogilvy slander, please. He's had a very, very good week.
Yeah, he has, and I will. When we get to Norwich, we'll defend him. But yeah, no, I just didn't understand with you the hype around him, because it weren't from all. It was just a few, and I thought I must be watching a different game because I didn't see it, and I watched it back and I still didn't see it. Sometimes you don't notice things until you watch it back, but no, I didn't get that. I just thought their best player on the pitch was their goalkeeper, and he conceded 3 goals. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, Daz. I was going to say that they did seem to struggle with the press, didn't they? And obviously, knowing Liam Manning, we know how he likes to play. Obviously, at MK Dons, and then at Oxford as well for a short stint. But we know the style of football he wants to play, and if that's the way that they want to play, we showed exactly how you counter that, and they can sit there and play and pass out from the back all they like. And we showed you press at the right moments, and you press and you block off the 2 centre halves that kind of split. They kind of make a triangle. The 2 centre halves are each side of the box, with the midfield that sitting midfielder, which was, I think it was Knight, was the deeper one, and you had that's when obviously Richie shouted for Potts to close him down, and you do that, and it causes problems for them, and they seem to struggle with that. So as soon as that, as you said, that first goal went in, we needed that first goal because we were dominating that first 15, 20 minutes. And you kind of felt if we didn't get that goal first that we would be punished, like we have done previously, like Plymouth, where we were on top and we've got punished at the end. But it was a very, very positive first half.
Yeah, it was. And as Russ was saying, obviously, Russ and Haz both picked up on it. Obviously, Richie, you can hear it, hear him in the highlights. You can hear him screaming about pressing. And then again, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when we scored, Richie turns and is obviously looking at Pack, and he's going mental looking at Pack. So I'm guessing it's something they've worked on through the week. And when something comes off like that, I suppose they're just absolutely buzzing. I mean, don't get me wrong, Pack and Richie would be buzzing anyway because Pompey scoring, they especially Richie just seems to go absolutely mental every time Pompey score, which is lovely to see. But yeah, it was a great first half, and obviously going in with a 1-0 lead is nice. But Haz, how do you think? Well, we all know how the second half went, but describe it to us.
Yeah, before we go there, I just wanted to say about that challenge from Cam Pring on Richie in the first half. I just thought how that wasn't given as a red
blamed
card.
Blamed to. I thought at the time it was like, how was that not a red? But then when you showed us that pitch, the footage back, yeah, you're right.
It's one of the most obvious red cards I think you'll ever see, because he literally is off the floor with both feet, and if Richie's leg was planted, he could have probably broken his leg. It's such a. They say it's was it reckless and endangering an opponent or something, isn't it, for a straight red? And that's exactly what it did.
Yeah, and he was out of control. Like, there's no way he's going to be able to stop himself.
No, exactly.
Once he's gone in, because his feet weren't off the floor, but both his feet went at the same time, and there's nothing there then to stop you. It's not like he's going in with one foot and the other kind of drags on the back, so you can pull yourself back. He's gone in there, and as I said on our group, I think if that's 10, 15 minutes later in the game, I think he probably gives a red. It's because it's like the 10th minute. And
it's mental, isn't it? It's absolutely
mental. It shouldn't. That shouldn't matter though. At the end of the day, he's twatted him really hard. 2 feet. It's not in control, and it's reckless. Yeah. And I can kind of forgive the lino a little bit because it is right under him. He's directly in front. So maybe from his angle, he has got Richie in front of him. Maybe he can't see that both feet have left the floor. But either the fourth official, like I was directly behind the fourth official from that angle, or a very similar angle, so he should be able to see there's 2 feet off, or the ref should be able to see it. So did he even get a yellow card for it?
Don't think so. Did he?
That's just baffling.
Well, he did get a yellow card, but I don't know if it's for that moment.
Oh, right. That's the thing. Like, because I've heard that Howard Webb talking about how sometimes they judge when to give a yellow card, because obviously they don't want to give a yellow card too early. Then they have to give yellow cards all game and stuff like that. But
he did get a yellow card for that moment. I've just gone on the commentary of the game.
He did.
Well,
okay.
Well, then I just think.
To be honest, I know as bad as it was, and it could have been horrendous and terrible and things like that. But in hindsight, it might have been a blessing in disguise, because in the red card before we scored, that might have ended up completely changing the game and made it harder for us.
Yeah, that's right.
Reckless and dangerous it was, the positive out of it was it probably actually did us a favour that he didn't get sent off.
No, yeah, true. Potentially. Sorry, Daz. I'll go on to the second half now.
That's right.
Which I actually don't have any notes for, because I was so cold, I didn't write any notes down. So this is going very well.
Wait, hang on. What, you write notes during the game?
Yeah.
Fair play.
I write it as it happens, because otherwise I'll do what I've done now and I forget.
Well, you think as long as you just drive for the 2 goals, that's more than enough. I think that's what keeps everyone happy, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. So obviously you had in the second half. Again, it comes from our pressing. Obviously, Lang had the opportunity where he robbed the ball off Rob Dickey, who is definitely Harry Maguire and Sean Raggett's love child. He robbed the ball off him, and he was 1-on-1 with the keeper. He's tried to go near post and do the keeper, but the keeper's done well and read that.
Yeah, he stood up. He tried to psych him, didn't he? And the goalie stood up really well to it, and
because 9 times out of 10 they're really going. The players going far post, aren't they?
Yeah.
So Lang's tried to go wrong and go near post, but as you said, the keeper's done a good save. He stayed on his feet as long as he could.
He was their man of the match. The keeper. He was. Well, it could have been 6-7 without him.
Yeah, he made some good saves and some key ones to keep it down. But that kind of set the precedent, really, because it was a bit more balanced, I thought, the second half, but we were still on top, but just not as much. Obviously, our second goal comes from pressing in the midfield. I think it was Potts that won it in midfield, and it comes to Bishop, and it's a lovely little ball. It's a Harry Kane-esque ball, kind of through to Son. It was kind of that kind of connection. I'm not comparing them. I'm saying it's that kind of what you'd expect to see from those two when they played at Spurs. But it was a lovely ball through, and it was a lovely little dink between the keeper's legs by Murphy. He did really well to stay on side. And I know Murphy's interview with Andy Moon afterwards, he said, "How did you know you were going to get the ball?" And Bishop said to Murphy after, "Because I don't shoot outside the box." So I thought that was quite funny. He is a real poacher, Bishop, isn't he?
Not just that, he's a percentage man, isn't he? Rather than he's far more intelligent than people give him credit for.
That's because he just gets it. Oh, he's a big boy. You lump it up to him, and he just whatever.
I don't know if you guys watch. You know, we've had Jack on here before. I don't know if you watch his content. I always want it, and his love for Bishop is clear to see. If you watch his Jack Wall's last video, he done the weekend. He highlights Bishop and everywhere. He literally covered the whole attacking area, his link up play, just how good he was, and how basically what a difference a player can make. He's the words ain't for it, and the reason why he don't shoot outside the box is because it's less percentage. Why bother wasting your time? I mean,
yeah. And that's it. And getting him into the box is one of his strengths, isn't it? So you've got to play to him, and that's as soon as he's come into the team, we look more comfortable already. Like obviously we've kind of mixed and matched so far with 4 strikers. Obviously, Yengi, Omani, Sadie has played up there, and Sorensen so far. So there's not really been a nailed-on striker that started because of various injuries and form, but everyone knows how Bishop plays, and you can tell as soon as he came on that first game back against Preston, you just saw like the team were like, right, we've got that focal point, we know exactly what he's going to do, and it's like a boxer was fighting with the wrong gloves on so far this season. Like they've been wearing the wrong gloves, or the darts player, he's been playing with the wrong. He's trying to change darts and getting used to this new set of darts, but he can't do it. He goes through 3 or 4 sets of darts, and then he actually goes, do you know what? I'll go back to my old darts. And he's doing a 9 darter every round. It's mental how one play, because you think obviously that you should be able to fit other strikers in, but no one can do what Bishop can do. And the fact he's come back and, was it 3 games, 2 goals and assist? It's baffling. He's made such a difference, and it's just his all-round game. He's come back. He looks fitter than last year. He looks stronger somehow, and he looks ready. He doesn't look like a player that's not played in the Championship before. He looks like he's kind of been there and done it before, like an experienced Championship head.
I would weirdly say the Championship probably suits his game more, than League One.
Yeah, and that's it's his movement off the ball. Like, I don't know if you've ever noticed it when we've had a free kick or like maybe a goal kick, stuff like that. The ball's up in the air. I don't know if he starts from an offside position or not, but it looks like he does. And then he comes around.
He does,
the defender.
He does.
So he always stands a good 10 yards offside, because from a goal kick, I didn't know this.
You can't be offside from a goal kick.
You can't be offside from a goal kick, and it's surprising no more that I don't see other strikers taking that advantage. But he does.
It kind of that, because then if he does that, he can see everything.
Yeah.
He can see the defender, he can see where the ball's going, and then he can position his back into the defender when he wants to.
Yeah, he does that, and then he comes around. Then he gets around the defender, because I think it was our second Swansea goal, which I saw a good angle of it as well. I noticed he did it last season a lot, and he gets around the defender, and if he doesn't win the header, 9 times out of 10 he makes sure that the defender either he doesn't win it or he gets a bad touch on it, so it maybe goes behind him, and then you've got people like Lang and Murphy around it, chasing it down. I think that's where our second goal against Swansea came from. And I saw him doing it a lot in the game against Norwich, obviously, which we'll go on to, with that Duffy, which I thought he bullied him, to be fair. I thought those things there, and that's not say like, obviously you could say we've got better because Bishop has come back in the team, which we have, but it's not the fact that it's a one-man team. It's about the whole puzzle coming together. You need like that extra little bit up there. You need that focal point. Everyone needs that number 9. And for us, and don't get me wrong, I like Yengi and stuff like that, but they just don't do what Bishop does.
It's also Bishop leading the press is impressive and all.
Yeah.
Like
Because
the striker leads the press.
That's what you need, is someone of that ilk that maybe has a bit more respect from the squad. Not saying they don't respect Yengi, but he has more ilk about him. He has that. He has more. He will have more respect. He's your main striker. He's a more experienced player, maybe I should say, rather than
And also I
find
it, Bishop just has an aura. I find.
Yeah, and he has that knowledge of the game of when to go. Whereas Yengi looked a bit more like a headless chicken, as such of he needed guidance when to press, and he didn't know the right times to press. Whereas Bishop knows when it's correct, and I think that's just experience of playing. I think that'd be
his time at Accrington. To be honest, I'm trying to think the name of the manager,
John Coleman.
He always played. They always played with a bit of a high press, especially. Do you remember the year when him and Dion Charles were out there, and that they were like a proper force, weren't they? And I think being with Dion and learning from Coleman, really, that's where he kind of learned his trade, really. And then I think Mousinho, as good as he was under Cowley, I just think Mousinho's just unlocked even more with him, and
he has,
and it's benefited us even more. Do you mean I think Cowley treated him a bit more like a poacher, where actually there's a hell of a lot more to his game, and that's when it used to anger me last year when people were going, "Oh, I'm playing Yengi, he's better because he can run," and it's like, who gives a shit?
But also, it's not just obviously Bishop coming back in. It's given everyone a lift, and it's, to me, I think it could be pivotal to whether we stay up or not. It's that key.
Yeah, but
because if he wasn't back until in January when he was we thought he would be, I actually think we'd have probably been close to being, well, what were we, 7 points off of safety at that point, I think.
Well, we did a podcast. I was thinking about this earlier. We did a podcast, the game 2 days before the Preston game, and we basically branded it a must-win. Not because it means we're relegated there, and then it just means you're out of touch, you're out of place.
Yeah.
You know, by January the 1st, we want to be in touch. At the moment, not only are we in touch, we're out of it and got games in hand. You know, if we've now gone from a really weak position to a strong position,
I think I don't think
it's a coincidence that Bishop's come back and things have changed.
I think also, obviously, that helps, but I think that the kind of 2 points, the link up between the three behind him, and it's been a consistent three behind as well in Murphy, Lang, and Ritchie, obviously bar Tuesday. It's been a consistent three behind, and they're getting used to playing it, and that's a nailed on front four right now. There's no one apart from the suspension that Lang had and that yellow card, which I'll talk about now. It's just utterly ridiculous, and it's so stupid. There's no need. We were 3-0 up at the time, I think, weren't we?
Yeah, and you just picked it up and booted it away.
We were 3 up, and you've picked it up and volleyed it to the north stand. It was like, why? But also, I suppose it was probably going to happen. As he said in the interview, it was stupid, but he is also that kind of player that does accumulate these cards. So it kind of gets it out of the way before it kind of does get busy. Obviously, it'd be nice to get there or not get there before it reset, but we've still got 5 or 6 games before it resets. So I think it's is it halfway through the season the yellow cards reset?
No, I thought it reset. It's been reset, no? Because I could have sworn they said if they can get through the Saturday and Tuesday game, they're through it. Then
was it? I thought it was halfway through.
Let me do some stats.
19. I thought it was also about 19. 19 games is in my head for some random reason. This is what Andrew Moon was saying. I think I can't remember the exact number what it was, but it was definitely amount of games after Bristol City that you thought he's going to get that yellow at some point because that's too many games, and you take that out of his game.
So it's 19 games. So
we've played 17, haven't we?
Well, we played 18 now. So
we played 18.
But that's game week, not like if you've had games postponed. So we've had games. So basically, if Ian got a yellow card Saturday or Tuesday, then it goes on to 10 games, doesn't it? 10 yellow, sorry. So if he hadn't picked up a yellow Saturday and then not picked up one Tuesday night, then it would be kind of waived, and he would have to get 10 before getting the suspension.
All right. It was stupid, but it was just it's what it is. At least it's out. I just think at least it's out of the way. I know it's not ideal, but and then we'll go on to that third goal, which was scored obviously by Lang.
Unbelievable.
And, it was a great goal. It was lovely work by Murphy, and when he went to cross it, you kind of think you're crossing it from that deep. You're level with the edge of the box. It's going to have to be a hell of a cross, and it was. It's right in that channel between the defence and the keeper, and the keeper's either got he's got to go for it. He's kind of in no man's land. He's kind of damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. If he goes for it, he's got a high chance he's going to miss it, and then Lang's got an empty net. Or he stays back and kind of watches it, and Lang basically has an empty net anyway. It was a lovely ball in, and Bishop kind of ended up ran to the front post, and it dragged both centre halves with him, or the centre half and left back. I can't remember which one. He dragged it with him, and Callum Lang was just there at the back post, and it was probably one of the easiest goals that Lang will score. So as I said earlier, the second half was a lot more balanced, but again, we were still on top. We just weren't as dominant, and we actually ended up with less possession, because I think once we got that third goal, we kind of just went, yeah, you can have the ball. We know the game's done. You do too. We'll have a clean sheet. Happy days.
Yeah, I was really happy to get the clean sheet for Schmidt.
The only thing I would say that Schmidt in the first half, it took a deflection off of Paul and then hit Devlin.
Yeah.
And he managed to go, because he was going back towards the centre of goal, and he managed to get back down to his right-hand side and tip that around the corner.
Yeah, no.
So apart from that, he didn't really have a lot to do. So
no, deserved his clean sheet. He deserved it for a while.
Yeah, and the same for Tuesday as well. Wasn't exactly busy, but when he was required to be there, he was doing what he needed to do, which we haven't exactly had full concentration from our old keeper that is no longer in the squad.
He's unbelievable. I can't stress how much I am falling in love with Schmidt.
It's quality.
I just it's everything that he can catch. He's a good shot stopper. Sorry, he's a good. His kicking is unbelievable. Like, he did a couple passes Saturday where, I haven't seen since probably like Bazunu or someone being able to do stuff like that.
It's his job. It's his job.
Yeah,
that's what Roy Keane would say. No, it is his job, but
it would be under pressure and just coolly just play out to someone.
When last year and the beginning of this year, whenever Norris had the ball at his feet and he was getting closed down, I always felt nervous every single time, even though I knew he'd probably deal with it.
I think everyone did. You always used to hear the threatening.
You'd always think, you'd kind of think, oh fuck, don't do that. But there's this calmness about. And I think Norris did look a little bit frantic at times, even though he was okay with his feet. He wasn't comfortable as such, but with Schmidt, I haven't felt nervous with him at his feet. He's getting closed down.
Well, Norris, because I remember an interview saying that it wasn't part of his game, because it wasn't when he's goalies when he come on the scene weren't doing that.
No.
So he admitted he knew he had to learn it to stay in the game, basically.
Yeah.
Whereas with Schmidt, you could just tell it's natural. It's just pure natural.
And that's key as well, because a lot of the time when Norris was under pressure from the striker and he kicked it, a lot of the time it'd end up going out for a throw. But Schmidt's under pressure, and he's either foot. I still actually don't know which foot he is, because both are
kick it with both
fucking accurate.
Yep.
And they don't go out. They might be a bit rushed at points, but he's calm. They're fairly accurate, and having someone like Bishop up there that can basically be a ball magnet, it's just kind of all coming together. And all we need is just some fit centre halves.
Yeah, well, talking about Fitz, and I really hope Paul was all right because he was so outstanding against Bristol City. I just kept turning to my dad, going, "That was Paul again. That was Paul again. That was Paul again."
Well, I think when a player has an ACL injury, I think there's always that worry that they're not going to be able to return to their pre-ACL self.
Yeah.
And with obviously Paul was outstanding that first part of last season, and obviously that injury at Chesterfield. But the only comparison I can kind of think of was Bentancur at Spurs a couple of years ago. He did his ACL, and he returned last summer. He returned last season in about January, and the Spurs medical team said you probably won't see the best of Bentancur until the pre-season. So it would take him 6 months to get back to the pre-ACL itself. And it's taken Regan Poole a couple of months as well. Obviously, he's still a great defender anyway. But
that's what used to frustrate me when people were moaning about him, going, "Oh,
you've got to remember,
give him time."
Gone 11 months without kicking a fucking football. Yeah, what do you expect?
And he had no pre-season. He was rushed back in. Really, I don't think the plan was to get him starting straight off. We had no choice but to play him. He needed time, and in my opinion, it was starting to slowly come back. You could start against. I thought Swansea, he started to show them signs again. And I thought Bristol City and the first half against Norwich, I thought he was just outstanding, winning every slide tackle.
Pre-ACL.
Yeah, passing was back on point. I think against Norwich, he did a mad, Steven Gerrard-esque sort of pinpoint to the feet pass. And
yeah, was that was to Murphy, because he literally... Yeah. It was the ball was kind of running away from him as such. And he managed to do it. And it was kind of directly in front of me, and he went straight to Murphy. I was like, yes, this is what we need.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with, like we're saying about giving him time to come back from injury. I mean, it's a prime example. Obviously, I know he didn't have an injury, but he didn't have a pre-season. Obviously, he's Richie. He didn't start particularly well. Look at him now after he's now built up a number of games.
Key part, isn't he?
So that's a similar thing. I think we've had that with quite a few of our players this season, where now we've given them time. I mean, if you look at, we'll go on to the Norwich game in a minute, but Paddy Lane and Moxon, I thought they played really well on Tuesday, and they didn't start well, so giving them a bit of time, getting used to things and playing and stuff like that. And that's when we're stepping up into a new league, you have to give these players just that little bit extra time to really adapt. And especially, obviously, listen to Andrew Moon's interview with Messino, said about Regan Poole's potential injury. And because of the reconstruction surgery he's had on his knee, they take a little bit from the hamstring. And obviously he just felt it just a bit tight. It wasn't like anything like he'd gone or anything like that. And if you watch the training videos from this week, I'm guessing it was from yesterday, Regan Poole's out training. So
that was from Monday, that video.
Was that Monday, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Never mind then.
But yeah, you're right. I heard the same part. So they take part of the hamstring tendon to do it. So that hamstring is always going to be a little bit weaker.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be a little bit more prone to, or more chance of an injury to it.
Yeah.
There was a point in the first half.
They did the right thing, didn't they? Sorry, Russ. They also say they did the right thing by taking him off, because you could have said, right, we'll leave him on, and we don't want to ruin this kind of performance against Norwich, and then his hamstring is, then he's 6 to 8 weeks out. Whereas you take him off at half time because he felt a bit of tightness. You do what you need to do. Okay, he might miss tomorrow night, but okay, that's fine. McIntyre came in, Pat moved across. They looked pretty decent together, bearing in mind they haven't played before together. And if it means we miss Regan for one game, but then he comes back, then do it.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, right, so I think that's us done, the Bristol City, unless there's anything else anyone wants to add. We move on to Norwich. All good, or?
All good, move on.
All good. All right, lovely. Well, let's move on to Norwich City at home on Tuesday then. 0-0. I'm still torn between whether it's a point gained or 2 points dropped, but I mean that in a very positive way. It's not like as in, oh, we dropped 2 points. It just feels like we were so close to 3 points. That, I mean, I'm happy we got a point, but
it was a 0-0 game, wasn't it? Let's be honest. It wasn't the best game. It wasn't very entertaining. I thought our defence and their defence were outstanding all game. I thought, all right, we could look at it and go, I'm still not convinced it was a certain penalty seen him given. I also think Murphy looked for it. I felt like he just kind of left himself there and purposely stopped so the player ran into him, but that's just my view on it. But one thing I think we could all agree on is Ogilvy scored a perfectly good goal. The goalkeeper fouled Richie. I don't see what Richie did wrong. And if the goalie probably hadn't fallen over into his own goal, then the ref probably wouldn't have given anything. He just saw a goalie fall on the floor and thought, there must be a foul, and blew his whistle. Because there was no foul in that whatsoever. And I'm all pissed off of it because I had Ogilvy to score and Pompey to win. So, and I would have had 3 scorers and 3 then. But other than that, to take that away, didn't really trouble Ruddy much, did we? And they had 4 shots on target, but they were all pretty much at Smith. Nothing you don't expect in the handle. I honestly think he's a 0-0 was a fair result. Beside the awful referee we had. One last thing to say, I thought the referee bar that red card against Bristol City was brilliant because he just let that physical game go. And then we had the complete opposite with Norwich, where everything was a yellow card, everything was a foul. Every time a player touched the player and it just ruins the game.
The ref definitely made it about him, didn't he?
Yeah.
He went out there and went, "I'm going to make this about me today." And I thought the game was, I'm kind of mixed whether it is 2 points dropped or 1 gained. I think a draw was probably a fair result, only because most of the action seemed to happen in the middle of the pitch, and I don't think we tested Angus Gunn, the dirty little scummer, enough.
We had one shot on target, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think we tested him enough to be able to justify saying that we deserve to win. I think saying that a draw, and that's probably why, because they didn't really test Schmid either.
No.
So I think I'll probably lean towards more of a draw as fair. I think we had the better of the possession, or better of the actual action in the middle of the park, but we just kind of lacked that final ball, and I think that's where we missed Lang.
We missed Lang massively. Like you could don't. I know Dad said you said that you thought Paddy Lane had a good game. I thought he had an okay game. I don't think he was great. I don't think he was bad either. I thought he was okay. I thought it was very obvious that we were missing Lang. But to be fair to Moxon, I didn't feel like we missed Dazelle, and I'm a big lover of Dazelle.
We definitely missed Lang more than Dazelle, didn't we?
I thought Moxon did a great job, and I'm annoyed I didn't put him down. I said to my dad straight away after we knew Dazelle was missing the game, Moxon would get a yellow card. I even looked at it before the game. He was 4-1 to get a yellow card, and he got a yellow card, and I didn't have any money on it, so I'm quite annoyed with that. But I thought he was outstanding. I thought Devlin was man of the match. I thought Ogilvy had his best game I've ever seen in a Pompey shirt.
Yeah.
And for me to say that, I'm not one of them who, just because I don't really rate a player, I'd never give him any credit. I thought he was decent against Bristol City, and I thought he was outstanding. But the reason why I tipped it towards Devlin is because that signs is, 15 goals he's got this season?
Yeah,
I think he had 16 now.
16 now, and he
was 16.
And he,
I think he had like 19 or 20 goal contributions, didn't he, or something like that?
Didn't give him a sniff.
I think 16 goals, 3 assists. I think
didn't give him anything that game, and that signs is a rat. By the way, I can't stand him.
Yeah,
the way he kept. I think he called the fans a wank, gave the wanker sign or something like that. He was, and there was a point, I don't know if you boys remember it, where they had a free kick, and it was after all that. Do you remember? The referee gave a free kick, and then Potts went in, and tackled, and didn't even touch the player. Like, won the ball as clean as you like. Their player flung themselves up in the air. They all went mental asking for a red card. And he did, and the ref didn't even see it, and yet he still gave Potts a yellow card. They then took the free kick quickly. Signs had the ball and then dived right in front of the Fratton end. But the ball wasn't even in play. And he looked round at the ref to say, why is it not a penalty? And the ref hadn't even played on from the free kick. Honestly, sorry, he is my new pet hate of the Championship. He's a rat, an absolute rat.
Because from that free kick, you know, when because I think someone, the ball had gone out or whatever it was, and someone came along and gave him a little dig, and he went down. I think it was like Ashley Barnes tried having a pop at the defender who gave him a bit. Oh, was it Devlin who took him out, and then he went up to Devlin and like Ashley Barnes tried to like bully Devlin. Looked like Devlin just told him where to go, but yeah, my point about Paddy Lane, I suppose it's because of. I tried to not look at it like him, like doing the same stuff as Lang. So I don't think there's many players in our squad that can do the same job as Lang can, because he will run and run and run, and Paddy Lane just hasn't got the legs to do that, especially not at the moment. So I felt Paddy Lane played well. So I tried to like sort of separate Lane's game from Lang.
I weren't comparing him to Lang. I just thought, like, how was he man of the match? I'll never know. Because for me, our three best players on that pitch, I thought, well, obviously Devlin was number one, Ogilvy's number two, and I thought Pack had his best game at centre back as well. I thought he was outstanding.
Especially shifting. Not only are you playing out of position, you're then having to shift to the other side at half time. And obviously, I know he played at centre half for Bristol City a few times, but again, it's still not a natural position for him.
Yeah.
So, and he's not looking out of place at all.
No, definitely not. So, and that's the thing for me as well. Our two fullbacks, I think they were absolutely quality in the defensive like transitions and stuff like that. I think if you look at Ogilvy's tackle in the second half, which had to be spot on, because if he mistimes
that was an incredible tackle.
It's probably a red. It's probably a red, or if he doesn't get contact with the ball, they score. And Devlin just week after week now just keeps like. I mean, he's been up against the last two games. He's been up against Mehmeti and Signs, and obviously with Signs, obviously at the moment he's the best player in the league based on goals and assists and stuff like that. But then also you've got Mehmeti, who's a real handful, and you've got a lad that I don't know how many games he's played at right back in his whole football career, but to play right back in the Championship at his age and play as well as he has played is mental in my eyes, absolutely mental. And I just think
his anticipation of where the ball's going to go is ahead of anyone else in the team.
Yeah. When when he's heading the ball, he manages to jump about 7 foot in the air.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
And then it's a lot of the time it's when they've got throw-ins and it's kind of in the opposition half, and they kind of hoof it up, and he's behind. He's kind of marking the winger. It was Signs or Mehmeti. He's kind of behind them, and then he just darts around in front of them and collects the ball. And because they're waiting for the ball to come to them. But he's like, no, I'll get in there. I'll take that ball, and I'll just see you later. To have that now, so only 21 years old, and the fact that at the beginning of the season he wasn't even in the squad, like not even making the bench. He's our starting right back. Swanson, obviously, he's only just come back, but he's not getting in anytime soon. And neither's Williams.
No, definitely not. And I don't know what you guys thought about, like, obviously at 0-0, and I know Bishop was probably struggling a little bit and stuff like that, but I felt how late we took Bishop off. Obviously, we took him off in the 80th minute. I turned to the guy next to me. I thought, if we're subbing him now, there's 10, 15 minutes left. Is there no point just leaving him on and seeing if we could, like, just instead of trying to press as much, like maybe just getting him in and around it? Because a lot of the time we didn't even have to press Norwich, because if you notice, we just stood on the edge of the box. They just played one or two passes and then went long anyway. They very rarely played out from the back. Don't know what you guys thought about maybe just leaving Bishop on for the 90 and maybe nicking something.
I think it's
I think they got to
probably
be
a
careful,
mixture.
don't they?
Yeah, don't forget he's still just coming back, and it's to do with fitness. And are you bearing in mind that your other two strikers or out and out strikers, Mane and Yengi, are gone for until the new year? Bishop's in a good run of form. Is it really worth trying to run him into the ground just to potentially win? Like, a point at home is fine against Norwich, second highest goal scorers in the league. You've got some adequate players in Sadie and Sorensen on the bench. And if you want Bishop to start on Friday, then also it's worth kind of keeping a bit back for him, because he'll probably want to play. Obviously, being a Forest fan, he's going to want to score against Derby again, isn't he? He's going to want to play most of that match. So I think it's just to do with fitness still. And if he was fully match fit, he's still kind of building back. If this match was in February or March, I think he'd have probably played the whole game.
Yeah, I just think I honestly think their defence was just that good. Like, you had the bit where they pulled it back to Paddy Lane. You thought it looked like he was just going to score. They blocked that. Right at the end, when I think Murphy put in a brilliant cross. I think Devlin in the back post or Sorensen at the back post, and it just like the angle I was at, I thought goal. Like the keeper was scrambling, and then one of them threw himself in front of him, blocked it, and I was really impressed with Norwich defensively. I weren't impressed with him anything else. But a point against a team that should be looking to get promoted, you can't really be upset with that. The only thing that really angered me was the disallowed goal that shouldn't have been.
Yeah, and that's the thing. As I said, like, I wasn't. It's not in like a negative way, which I thought maybe 2 points dropped. It just felt if we had just that little bit extra, or we could. I mean, we had two, obviously, the decisions from the referee, which I think is a penalty, and it's definitely a goal. It's not. It should have been disallowed. That just makes it frustrating, and especially, I probably didn't expect us to sort of. Because I know we beat Bristol City quite convincingly, but you never know whether Bristol City just had a bad day at the office or was us playing well.
You probably did, because they ended up beating Sunderland at Sunderland, didn't they?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, us playing like Norwich at home, I thought to myself, is it going to be a little step too far? Not that I'm not confident in the team, but you're up against Norwich, like look at signs and stuff like that. And I dread to think how much half of their start 11 is compared to our squad. So the fact that we played that well, we just didn't have the X factor in the finishing in the final third. It kind of maybe my mind's thinking, oh, we should have had 3 points if we'd have just taken one of those chances and got an actual shot, more than one shot on target. Maybe we could have won the game. But before we move on to like Derby County preview, I just wondered about you guys felt about Angus Gunn getting. I think he got a little bit of stick in the second half. Don't know if you boys heard that.
A little bit.
Just a little bit of stick.
They got
a little
game, didn't he? Let alone
the second half was intense, wasn't it?
And that's fully deserved. That's what you get for being a dirty little scummer.
I thought he handled it really well, to be fair to him.
He did. And Ashley Barnes when he came off.
Yeah, I thought he went off to booze to. By the time he got to where I see everyone was clapping him.
Yeah. Well, because if you give back a little bit, everyone's all right with that. Yeah, everyone's all right with it.
I love it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you're calling him a fat bastard and everything, if he's just gonna, everyone's human. He's saying it in good jest. He's laughing. He's smiling. He knows we're having a muck about, and he's allowed to do the same back.
Yeah. He's been around the block too many times, and he's not one of these strikers that's like his emotions get hurt. He's a right bastard. I think he must be a right horrible mate.
He should have got a red card.
He played in the Premier League under Dyche, didn't he? So he's a physical bloke.
He should have got a red card in that game though.
Should he?
Yeah, because the not for one instant, but the amount of yellow and the amount of foul he done, and then that one he done to Ogilvy did that mad slide tackle. He got up, and then Ashley Barnes just took him out. How that wasn't another yellow card, I'll never know.
Yeah, I said to the mate next to me, I said, someone's getting sent off in this game, surely, because they were like, especially at one point, the yellow card was coming out of Like, I think Norwich had like 4 or 5 players on yellow cards,
and we had 3, I think.
Yeah, just felt like someone was potentially going to get. I mean, that stuff with Angus Gunn, like, not just the fact he's an ex-scummer, but I wanted that kind of atmosphere towards like the goalkeeper and the defender and stuff like that. Every time they get the ball, they take in ages. Just start getting on their backs. You know, like when English teams play in Europe, there's constant whistling and booing whenever the away team have the ball. Like, for us to sort of try and maybe get us over the lines to intimidate and try and get that atmosphere going. I know it's tough with Championship players because a lot of them are played at a level where it probably doesn't bother them as much. But if it can maybe just get that 1%, like, who knows? But as you said,
I've got some players in the past.
Yeah.
Speaking of atmospheres, though, going back to this Bristol City game, what on earth was that? Was it the weather? Do you think it was awful? Absolutely.
The thing is, in the back of the Fratton, and I felt there was still a bit of singing
going
on.
The usual part of the Fratton end was fine.
Yeah.
But the rest of it.
Mate, I suppose if you're sitting in that north stand and the weather's the way it is with the wind,
that's all I could think of.
Yeah, you're probably just trying to make sure like you can stay alive, let alone like sing, because it was. I people that have seen things in that north stand lower, I just think you're mental, because as soon as a bit of rain happens or a bit of wind kicks up, like, because the sea is obviously facing their way, so as soon as the wind comes over there, it must be horrible, and there's no shelter or protection from anything.
No.
At least in the south stand, you're protected by the stand, because obviously the wind coming from the sea. But the north stand, it's all in your face, and it just, like, fair play to them. Like, but yeah, I think that might have been.
That had to be. But then the bit that worried me up, I'm glad that I thought the atmosphere was decent against Norwich, was apparently Swansea away was poor atmosphere-wise, which was weird. And all, especially away fans. So then you had that, then the Bristol City game, you thought, hang on a minute, what's going on all of a sudden? But then I thought it was all right against Norwich. All, South Stand was singing, North Stand was singing. So everyone then gave it a good load. Do you know what I mean?
I think maybe the Norwich manager helped us out there by
responsible
for the game, which sort of.
But then if you saw the Bristol City game, maybe you thought, they're not that loud.
No. Right, cool. Is there anything else from Norwich you guys want to talk about, or should we move into Derby preview? Just wearing a time. Yeah, lovely.
Sorry, I was just gonna quickly say it was just just to go on to kind of into January as well. It's just looking at the quality of the benches.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you brought that. I meant to bring that myself.
It was just, if you looked at Norwich, I think the players I think they brought on like £4 million worth of players.
Yeah,
and we brought on like $1 million. And the guy that big lanky bastard that they brought off, they signed him in summer for £8.5 million.
Yeah,
and he's there starting. Like,
it was hard when someone behind me shouted like, "Oh, we need to change something, Messina or something like that."
But what can you
change it with? And I looked at the bench and I thought, "Who the fuck did we bring on?"
Yeah,
but that's the problem. Having Dazelle and Lang out and having to start Moxon and Lane, you're losing probably 2 of your subs that you would have probably made.
Yeah.
So
and that's the thing. I think it's going to be like a good, like, if we can stay in the league and keep progressing, like to be at the likes of Norwich is kind of spending even half there. It's gonna be a couple of seasons yet, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there was something that it worried me against Bristol City, but then he come on anyway. I thought 3-0 up. How the fuck is Kamara not getting at least 5 minutes here? But then he brought him on against Norwich, and he actually did a couple of decent things.
Yeah, he got quite a big cheer, didn't he? Because everyone's been waiting for.
Well, you're the best player in the world when you don't play at Pompey.
Yeah.
Who was that striker we had during COVID that everyone? Jordan, what was his name? He's played for Coventry. He was crying out for him to start, and then he
Jordan. Hugh, it's a HUW.
Yeah.
UW.
Oh, Jordi Hiwula.
That's it. Yeah, and then he was absolutely dog shit when he finally did get a game. You always.
that's the thing with Kamara coming on. I talked to the mate next to me quite a bit, and I said to him like, this is 0-0 against Norwich at home. I mean, if you're going to bring him on, I know he's had a run out a couple of times before, but it's quite a pressured situation because one mistake against the Norwich team.
Yeah, within the 10 minutes, including added on time he was on, he put a mental crossing that looked like it was going to find someone's head. He won the ball back pretty well, and he went on a bit of a good ball progressive run. So he's definitely a player. You can see it.
Messino said in his afterwards, he said that he thinks that Kamara not playing for a bit has kind of done him some good, and he's come back since he's last played as an improved player. So you would hope with those words that means they've kind of had a word with him and say, look, you need to step it up. He's taken a bit of time to settle, and now he maybe is ready to have more of an impact in the first team.
When he was getting ready to come on, everyone, Messina, John Harley, they all were giving him a big pat, and like the big trying to big him up. So they were just throwing him on. We'll have to bring him on.
You've got to remember as well, he is only 19. So
exactly, yeah. And I was worried that he didn't come on against Bristol City 3-0 up for 5 minutes, but then it reassured me that they were happy to bring him on at 0-0 against Norwich. So
and that's the thing. I don't think it's the fact they don't rate him. It's maybe the fact they just we don't know the conversations between them both. Like a lot of people think if a player's not getting on, they want out the club and stuff like that. It's not always the case. Sometimes the manager and the coaches and the players, I'm sure they a lot of them have an understanding, and they're all right being no players should be all right being on the bench or because they should want to play, but they will want the right time for them to come in, won't they? As well as sort of the manager wanting to put them on at the right time.
For me, January has to be a centre back, striker, which I know they said they won't, but in my opinion, we need it.
I think you will anyway.
And I think someone else that can do Lang's job, or close to it.
Yeah,
because I don't think Paddy Lane's that. I still think he's better on the left wing.
Yeah. I saw. What do you reckon we might go back in for Harvey Vale from Chelsea?
Possibly,
because he's not played a lot. He came on tonight against Astana for them in the Conference League, but I'm surprised he didn't go out on loan anywhere else. So maybe he's someone we might look at.
Good chance that I still think that Australian centre back's got a good chance of coming in January.
Yeah.
And then I know they said they won't go and get a striker, but when we did that, keep sell. I'm curious to. I'm obviously not doing it now. I ain't got time, but I'm curious to know if anything has changed since then. I mean,
maybe we do one in the first one of the January window.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, great, lovely. So should we move on to Derby? So we've got Derby tomorrow night. And as Paul Warren says, not that it is a derby, but they're called Derby, which is handy. This is what he said against Leeds, which is the most random sentence I've ever heard. Derby County tomorrow, 8 p.m. We're going to be coming up against at least one of our old players, and Marcus Harness, I believe. I don't think there's anyone else. If there is, let me know.
But is the winger not still there? Mendes Lang.
Mendes Lang, yeah.
Mendes Lang. I forgot that's how long ago he played for us. And then
2012 was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there when we were signing about 50 players every week.
Yeah. So should we go with Haz? What's your prediction, or what's your thoughts ahead of the game tomorrow night?
So I think it's going to be tough because of the way that Derby play. It's a Paul Warren side, isn't it? So it's going to be horrific football, on the eye. It's not pleasant to watch, but
Sonny Bradley plays for him as well, by the way.
Oh, does he? Oh, good. He's a knob. They don't play the most particularly attractive brand of football.
No, it's horrendous to watch.
It kind of gets results on occasion. They started off well, but they've really gone off piece now. They haven't won since the 6th of November was their last win. But then again, I think they drew to Leeds and they drew to Burnley, I think, if I'm right. Or they were close. They were in them.
But it's one of them games where you can clearly tell they barely had any shots in possession.
Yeah.
They just sat every man behind the ball and went there to 0-0.
I think the fans are starting to turn and getting a bit pissed off because
they
spent not a lot of money, but a fair bit of money of a team. I think they spent the most out of the three of us that went up, and I think they were hoping for a bit better than what they've got. So I think we need to go there and do what we do best. Do what we've been doing at home. Take that away, because if we get an early goal, we put the pressure on. The fans start to turn. You know, we know what it's like at Fratton Park when we play shit, or like when it's kind of coming towards the tenure of the Cowleys and Jacket. It got pretty toxic when that first goal went in for the away team. We were kind of hot on our players, and I think Derby are kind of going to be in a similar position to that. So if we can get an early goal and start, or at least start aggressively, I think we've got a good chance of going 1-up, and then that'll put them on the back foot, and they've got their own crowd against them, and I think we could use that to our advantage. So I'm going to go for a Pompey 2-0 win with Mr. Nottingham Forest, Colby Bishop, to score, because he does score against Derby pretty much every time.
Lovely. Took my goal scorer. So while I'm going to make Russ now give his little preview and his a prediction, and I think another goal scorer.
What is the table at the moment, anyway?
Okay, yeah. So of course, Norwich.
Norwich, none of us got anything, did we?
I got a draw out of that, didn't I? Or I put
Did you go draw?
I said 2-2,
did,
I think, yeah.
Oh, Mr. Positive went for a draw, did he?
That's a positive result.
You must be joint with Haz now, no?
So obviously you both got 2 points for the Bristol City game.
Yep.
Then obviously Daz gets a point. So yes, Russ, you are still last on 8.
That's fine. Better than I was a couple of weeks ago.
Haz and Daz, we are both on 10 points.
That's annoying. So if Ogilvy's goal stood, I'd be top right now. That's fucking annoying.
You would. You write to the referee and just cry.
I will. Right, prediction. I'm with Haz. I think we can really make that an ugly place for them to play. I think we need to score in the first half. I've also gone 2-0, but I'm going for Callum Lang to get a goal.
Lovely. Right. Well, I'm also going for a win. I'm going to go for like a 2-1. I think.
You gone with JMO? You gone with David James? He went 2-1.
Did he? Oh yeah, I did hear him say that earlier. Actually, yeah. So yeah, I've gone with a 2-1, and I'm going to go with Murphy.
That means he's not going to score because you've gone for him.
Well, no. Did I say I said Murphy in the Bristol City game? I think did I? Did I say Murphy?
Did, yes.
Yeah, there you go. So the
because I genuinely thought all three of us had a goal scorer, because I could have sworn you said Lang.
That's it. The hoodoo's over, so I can go back in with Murphy, because that's all done now, so that's fine. I think I don't know whether it kind of Derby's the team that kind of suits us to play. I think we play better against a team that wants to play out from the back. But I think we can put the pressure on anyway. I think we can play both ways, which is a positive. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Derby County, if we could, even if we don't score in the first half, as long as we don't allow them in and stop them doing things. Because again, Paul Warren said some stuff after the game against Leeds, said that it was a Premier League team up against a League One team with a little dash of sprinkles and stuff like that on top of it. Which
that's not going to go down well, is it? With players or fans?
No. So
he does say weird shit even when he was at Rotherham. You know what
I mean, he seems like a nice guy. I like him as a guy, but obviously,
Rangers scored.
he's a particular type of manager, isn't he? And I don't think he adapts like you would with a manager that wants to just play out from the back all the time. Doesn't adapt. He doesn't adapt to that sort of style. So I'm going to go Murphy 2-1 Pompey, and hopefully we'll be pushing ourselves up even more out of the relegation zone, at least for a day or two. So so that's our predictions. Should we move on to Haz versus Daz?
Yep. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Right, so Haz Vs Daz, I haven't had a chance to do a Christmas quiz, and then I thought actually it'd probably be better to do it next week where it's right on top of it. So this week I've just gone for a guess who. So you're basically both going to get, so normally you get 20 questions, obviously there's two of us, you get 10 each. A guess counts as a question. So I've got to think of a Pompey player, quite simple, you're going to just guess, try and ask questions to guess who it is. Is that clear, Daz?
Yeah.
So, Daz, you're currently in the lead, so you always will get the home advantage until Haz starts catching you up. So you can ask the first question on the first player. And we do first to 3, so we do 5 players.
Right. Okay. This is good. I've been caught completely off guard with this because this is throwing my mind.
Shock.
Exactly. Do they play in defence?
Yes.
So is that my turn, yeah?
Yeah, your turn now.
Are they a current player?
No.
Have they played in the Premier League?
Yes.
If we guess, are we out?
No, you can guess, but it counts as just a question.
Oh, Matty Taylor?
No.
Have they played in the Premier League for us?
Yes.
Sol Campbell?
You just guess players after each one of his things. No.
Well, why not? I know they were a defender that played for us in the Premier League.
No. You do whatever tactics you want. I just think I was laughing because I thought that was actually quite a clever way of doing it.
Do they play centre back?
Yes.
Kabul?
No.
Arian Dazoo?
No.
Distan?
No.
Just like, Hayden Fox?
No.
Kind of run out of centre half now. Were they with us when we won the FA Cup?
No. That's a good question.
Are they English?
No.
I've got one in my head.
Stevanovic?
No.
Oh, that was going to be my guess.
You got 2 questions each left.
Right. Linvoy Primus?
No. They're not English. You asked if he was English.
Yeah. Did you say? Oh, of course, yeah.
Can't argue if he's English or not.
I just realised that.
Who is that Irish? No. I think I'm pretty stuck. Oh, Pamaro?
Wasn't he there when we won the FA Cup? Sure he was.
He was.
I don't know.
So no.
And he's a fullback as well, I think, wasn't he?
Well, you
Can
said
play
Primus.
centre back, but I probably would have said he was a fullback more than a centre back.
Mm. Oh, geez.
You got one left each, and that has to be your guess now.
So he played in the Premier League. Centre back, not English. Oh my god. This is painful. This. I just cannot think of anyone.
I'm happy to concede if you are, Daz, because I'm out.
What season did they leave?
I can only answer yes or no. You're both gonna kick yourself. I can't believe you ain't got it.
Give us a clue.
Very, 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 very popular player.
Very, very. What? Very, very. Ah. Can I guess?
Who said? It's your go, Daz.
Oh, Ricardo Rocha.
Thank God for that. Yes, it is Ricardo Rocha.
Yeah, because the thing is,
I started off with an easy one.
I know, but I think of Ricardo Rocha in the championship, the season we're in the championship. That's when I think of him.
I see. Yeah.
Because he was
forget his unbelievable FA Cup semi-final performance, but you know.
But wasn't that in the only season he played in the Premier League for us?
He probably only played about 10 games in the Premier League, but he still played in the Premier League.
No,
and he played for Spurs. Haz.
He did, yes. See, I was going before the FA Cup. My brain was the wrong side.
Yeah, and that Irish player you were thinking of was Andy O'Brien.
Yes, that was it.
Right. So player number 2. Daz is 1-0 up.
Who?
Haz, you can go first this time, just so it's back and forth.
Are they a current player?
No.
Have they played in the Premier League for Portsmouth?
No.
Are they a striker?
No.
Are they a midfielder?
No.
Alex Bass.
No.
Are they a goalkeeper?
No.
So they're a defender then.
Christian Burgess.
No.
Are they English?
Yeah, I don't know why I had to look. Yeah.
Matt Clark.
No.
See, I'm actually I'm narrowing it down for Harry just to keep guessing.
The thing is, you probably actually, but I don't. It probably wouldn't work that tactic because this literally could be anyone.
Exactly. Yeah.
It could be an 80s player. It could be a 90s player. I mean.
I'm trying to narrow it down first.
Well, I understood the last time because you quite early got defender and quite early got they played in the Premier League for us. So I got to just shouting out defenders' names. I mean.
So we know that they're English and that they're a defender.
Yeah, that's it.
And that they didn't play in the Premier League for us.
Yeah. So other than 7 years of our history, it could literally be anyone.
Have they played for Portsmouth after the Pompey Trust took over the club?
No.
This could be fun.
Good question.
That's a great question.
That is an absolutely outstanding question.
I was just trying to narrow it down to at least 10 years.
Well, you're halfway through your questions, so you got 5 each.
Did they play for us after the FA Cup win?
Yes.
Okay. Championship.
So you've really narrowed it down now. You've gone in 2 questions. You've gone from it could be anyone from 1898 to 2002, and then 2010 to now. To now, you've narrowed it down to 2 seasons.
English centre half, though.
Didn't say he was centre half.
Oh no, English defender.
Did you say he's played for us since we won the FA Cup?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I guess, or is it Daz's go?
It's Daz's go, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Hurry up, Daz. I've got a guess.
What's your guess? Oh, Glenn Johnson.
No. You shall go.
Glenn Johnson.
No, because they didn't play in the Prem. Remember, for us.
Oh, yeah.
John Harley.
No. He signed. Oh no. Technically, he was just before the trust took over, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, he was in that season where we used 9 million players.
Yeah.
Joel Ward?
No. Good shout. So you got four each left.
Was he a permanent signing?
Yes.
Oh, that's not my guess.
Wait a minute. Yes and no. If that helps.
Well, so an initial loan and then a permanent?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I was going to say Joe Matip, but I don't think he actually was permanent at all. I'm sure he was just. I'm going to say Joe Matip anyway.
He was just a loan, wasn't he?
Yeah. I think it was a loan and a permanent fullback. English. I think I know.
I'll let Daz go because I've not.
Sure.
Yeah, I've got nothing. So.
All right.
Is it Carl Dickinson?
No.
Oh.
He also rejoined, remember, as well at some point, didn't he?
Did he not? Was he not on loan from Stoke and then we took him on a permanent?
Oh, I can't remember now, but it's not him.
Well, that was it.
I've got nothing, so I'm calling it. I'm done with this one.
give us a clue.
Right, still you go, Haz. All right.
All right.
You can have a clue. All right. What clue do I give?
His name.
I'll give you his. Well, what clue do you want? Give me one thing you want, and I'll tell you. Other than his name.
Initials.
That's too obvious as well.
Where did he come from?
Yeah, we signed him from Wolves, who at the time were in the Premier League.
The only player I can think of that we've played for Wolves and us is Jamie O'Hara, but that's not. Obviously, it's not right.
I think I don't know if I know this, but I've got a feeling.
No, I've nothing. Go on, Daz.
Can I just ask a question and then guess?
If Haz is conceding, then you technically still got two questions.
Well, I'm conceding this guess.
This guess, right? Okay, so ask a question.
Was he quite a good penalty taker?
Yeah, but you've now given it to Haz if he wants it.
He conceded it.
Only that
I
guess.
conceded that guess. But I haven't got it anyway, so you can
still
have
ain't got it after that, because that was, I thought, I nearly gave that as a clue, but I thought, that's too obvious.
Can I go?
Yep.
Greg Halford.
Greg Halford, yes.
I had no idea we signed him from Wolves.
I was just trying to imagine like the players that I know played for Wolves in the Premier League that around that time.
Right, next one, go. Yeah, starting with you, Daz.
Go on. Oh shit! I've got to ask a question.
Grandpas are out again.
Just thinking about where was an original. That's my problem. Did he play for Pompey in the Premier League?
No.
No.
Did he play for us after the PSD took over?
Yes.
You can't use my clever questions, okay? They're mine. So after the PSD. Did they play for us in League Two?
Yes.
Did they play for us in the season that we won League Two?
No.
Oh, nice. Are they a defender?
No.
Adam Barton.
No.
That's a freaking random one, to be fair. I was going to say Adam McGurk, but that's the who's going down. Are they a midfielder?
No.
I'm going to go Adam McGurk.
No.
He's a midfielder, I think, right?
Well, he's a winger. That's not a midfielder. The only thing I remember about Adam McGurk was that 30-yard P roller he scored away at Oxford.
Yeah, great goal. Yeah,
and
he's stupid fun here.
That was about the only contribution he made in a Pompey shirt.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Is he a goalkeeper? Yeah. Was he a goalkeeper?
No.
So he's a striker. Okay.
Or winger.
Oh,
Wingers are not midfielders.
Are they not?
No. So Beckham wasn't a winger, was he? He was a wide midfielder.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of wingers that left after the first year.
I'm also not saying he is a winger either. I'm just saying he's one or the other.
I'm trying to think of players that left after the first year. Mark McNulty.
Oh, boom! Yes, Mark McNulty.
Jesus.
Nice one.
He's not a winger. He's not a winger.
No, he's a striker.
He
I know.
striker. Oh yeah, Grandpa's at it again.
Yeah. Who said that?
Well done. 2-1. You got a chance, Haz.
I'm not sure.
Right. Go on then. You now, Haz.
We're just kind of going with the same questions, don't we?
That matters.
Yeah.
You can ask whatever you want.
Have they played? I'll vary it. Have they played for us under the Eisner regime?
No.
Have they played for us in the Premier League?
Yes.
Gary O'Neill.
No. I love it.
I love how he's got that from that. That's unbelievable. They played for us in the Premier League. Did they get us promoted from the Championship into the Premier League?
What you mean? What you mean with us when we're in Division 1?
Yeah, with us. Yeah, with us.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Okay. Benjani.
No. Again, there's a lot of players this could be.
I'll get it. I'll get one.
Do they play? Are they a goalkeeper?
Oh yes, great question. Yeah.
Go on, Haz, your turn.
They didn't. Jamie Ashdown?
No.
David James?
No.
I'm trying to think of other goalkeepers. They're the only two I remember playing for us in the Prem.
I've got a couple.
I can't remember if he stayed on Shaka Hislop.
He got promoted, didn't he?
Yeah, but he wasn't there, was he?
But Daz asked the question: did he get promoted with us? Shaka did, didn't he? So
yeah,
the answer would be no. I should be saying that, but
well, take that as my guess because that's fair. Because I forgot the question. So Daz, come on.
All right.
Dean Kiley.
Congratulations! It was.
Oh, what a shout that is,
Dean Kiley. I'm really glad that I didn't get onto my next one, which was Quincy Wusu-Abayi. I don't think either of you would have got there in the end if you struggled with Ricardo Rocha.
To be fair, my next guest after Dean Kiley is going to be Is it Chalkias?
Chalkias, where it was.
Yeah.
Cost us points, that's what I used to call him.
Yeah.
Because his name was Kostas Chalkias, cost us points. Who else could it have been? Westerveld, Pavel Chernacek. I think that's about it, really, isn't it? I think it had to be one of Begovic. Could have been
Begovic, yeah.
That's true.
Right, there you go. That's the end of Haz vs Daz. Daz, you're now 6-2 up.
Boom.
Is it 6-2, is it?
Running away with it.
But next week, it will be Christmas. Anything can happen there.
Yeah, filthy animals.
I love Christmas, so that's gonna be mine.
Right, should we move on to Harry's Who Am I?
Come on.
Let's go.
I look forward to this every week.
Clue number 1. I made 368 appearances in my career, scoring 37 goals.
Oh, that's not a lot, is it? Really, 300 in your career. How many was it?
368 appearances, 37 goals.
You know, that's. I can't. How many seasons is that? Like, how many
39 goals if you include international.
Oh, he played international. Right. It literally could be anyone, couldn't it? Is 300 games a lot? And I'm trying to work out how many seasons that could be.
So it's roughly about
10 seasons, is it?
Well, if you play 36 games a season, then yeah.
Yes, but so if they were Premier League-ish, that's about right, isn't it?
Well, not one of big Premier League, though.
No. I'm just saying. So you're looking at 10 to what? 10 to 13 seasons? If they start with it, well, I suppose that's probably a decentish career, actually.
Just because of the international thing, I'm going to have a little guess anyway. Mark Chamberlain.
Incorrect.
that pause scared me then.
It did, yeah.
Right. So how many goals do you say you scored before international?
37 goals.
And then how many goals did you score with international? 39, wasn't it?
39.
You only got 2, 30 odd, 300 odd. So it's either a very good goal scoring defender or midfielder, I would want to say. Just trying to think of someone who's played internationally. Paul Hall.
Incorrect.
That's a good shout there.
Clue number 2. I managed Burnley under 23s for 4 seasons between 2018 and 2022. And it's the only managerial position I have held.
This literally could be anyone. I'm loving it. Yeah, stepping it up.
I've had to go over these people I've picked, right, the last few weeks. I've had to go over them and find more obscure things because I'd realised they were too easy.
Burnley under 23. Jesus.
I'm still thinking that I've kind of left that out because I ain't got a clue. I'm still thinking of just players who it could have been after the original guess.
Yeah. This is a toughie.
So clearly been retired a while now.
I'm stuck on this one. This is a killer, isn't it?
I don't know. Let's go for someone like Hayden Fox. No, he wouldn't have scored that many, but fuck it.
Incorrect.
As soon as I said it, I thought, what the fuck am I saying?
I don't know, just pass, because I can't think of anyone. I think I need another clue. Yeah, I'll pass. Give another clue.
Okay. I was injury prone and I received medical advice from a Yorkshire businessman tycoon called Ed Clark. But his help didn't help me.
Right, so that explains why I felt like it was a lack of games then if he was injury prone.
Yeah.
Darren Anderson surely scored more than 2 goals for England.
But that talking about he seeked help from some random guy, you might as well just said, oh, he looked out his window once, and that could be a clue. Like that's literally as good as it's gonna get.
Right, can we have one clue of what decade did he play for us or something?
He played for us in the noughties.
Right, okay. Injury prone players in the noughties.
Oh.
The way I'm going for it now is midfielders who are a bit injury prone that also played at international level at some stage.
So noughties, that's the 90s, isn't it?
No, that's the 90s of the 90s, Daz.
Oh,
The noughties are the zeros. That's naught.
In the 2000s.
Oh, right. Of course.
Fucking hell, Daz.
Look, he's got dementia, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. I just like use all my brain power, just like beating you, Haz. That's the problem.
That's it.
That's the thing. Whenever we do this, I'm fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking hell. Naughty's injury prone. Played at international level. Right, I just want one more clue, and then if we don't get it, then we've lost. And that is he British?
Yes.
Right, okay. Injury prone. Played in the noughties. It's not going to be something like that, Sarah Hughes or someone like that. Do you remember him?
No idea, I'm afraid.
Do you remember him, Daz? Sarah Hughes played for Wales a couple of times. Maybe he scored a couple of goals.
Well, as in you spelled his name CER.
Yeah.
Isn't that Kerry Hughes?
Or Kerry Hughes, wherever you want to play.
Was he Irish?
He was
North
Welsh,
Irish?
wasn't he?
All right, I'll eradicate that. He's English.
All right, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm give us one more clue. One more clue.
Okay. I'll have to go on his Wikipedia and find something now.
So I think it's Sean Derry, but he's been managers, isn't he? So can't be him. Oh, Spurs have just scored.
I joined on loan from Aston Villa before I came to Pompey permanently.
Aston Villa.
If you do get this, I'm not counting it because you've had about 7 clues.
Yeah. All right, no, I'm done. I can't.
I'm just trying to think. So obviously, it's not Merce, it's not Steve Stone, because any coached Newcastle's youngsters or something like that, or been assistant manager or something like that. Just trying to think of players we've had from Villa that are English. Other than them two, I'm really struggling. I think, you know what? As we ain't got any, I'm going to have to concede. I generally can't think of it.
Yeah.
You did just name him.
What, Steve Stone?
Steve Stone.
It's Steve Stone. But the way I've got you is I said his only managerial position.
Ah, for fuck's sake.
Because the only managerial position he's had is Burnley under-23s. He was a coach at Newcastle.
That's dirty.
You've done what? You've done a me question where people don't listen.
That's it. You didn't listen.
Yeah, that's dirty. That's a Jerry Barton kind of tactic.
That's upsetting.
That's only the second. It's the only second, the second one you haven't got. Just let me get a couple in, all right?
Lovely. Well, now my brain's absolutely frazzled.
I can't believe I said it and then talked myself out of it because I was just thinking of where he's coached and I knew he coached.
Yeah, when you said it and you went, no, it's not Steve Stone, I was like, it bloody well is.
Well, the problem is for us, we thought Harry was a friend and we didn't think he'd do dirt to us like that. So you believe in yourself. But,
you know what all I hear, Daz, is wow, wow, wow.
So, now that's done. Is there any other business? I'm just thinking of like time. Or shall we get ourselves tucked into bed ready for tomorrow night?
The only quick thing was I was going to just go through the injuries that were talked about. So obviously we spoke about Regan Paul's injury. Jacob Farrell.
6 to 8 weeks.
No. I think he'll miss tomorrow, but he'll be back after that. He'll be back for Coventry at home. Jacob Farrell was doing straight line running, but he's not training with the group yet, and he's without the ball. Same with Connor Shaughnessy. So you're looking at
next year.
Farrell is slightly ahead of Shaughnessy, so he could be back at the end of this year, but it's probably unlikely he'll get meaningful minutes. Shaughnessy's next year, and Yengi is 10 weeks, isn't he, or 8 to 10 weeks? So we could do
in 5 weeks or something.
Oh, he's 5 weeks. He's gone back to Brighton to do. He's like torn his side or something, I think it was.
Hit.
So he's returned to Brighton for their rehab, which is fine because he's not taking up any room of ours, and their facilities are going to be better than ours, aren't they, as well? So hopefully he'll come back soon and hit the ground running again because he's got a couple goals. He's looked promising in spells, but he hasn't really had a full run in the team yet. So it's been kind of chopping and changing. So, yeah, we're getting more players back, which is the main aim, and hopefully Farrell and Shaughnessy can probably return sooner rather than later. That would be awesome.
Yeah, the way Ogilvy's playing, would you drop Ogilvy in the moment?
Well, no, but it's just nice to have that competition back there because the one game that we saw Farrell, he looked pretty decent, I thought.
He certainly did.
But that's it. That's me done, over and out, really.
Cool.
Lovely. Well, is that everything, guys, or anything else?
No, I'm happy to end it there, mate.
Perfect. All right. Well, cheers, guys. Thank you to everyone that listened in. Obviously, if you've missed part of the show and stuff like that, you can listen back on all your favourite podcast streaming places. That's the word for it. But yeah, thanks to everyone for popping in and have a little listen. Let's all get ourselves tucked into bed, ready for Derby County away tomorrow, 8 p.m. kickoff, I believe.
With David James there.
Yes.
Go on, J-Mo.
Anyway,
backing the boys.
Go on.
I love the fact he's actually brought a Pompey shirt from the. I'm assuming it's the red and black 90s kit.
Retro one. Yeah. Good lad, J-Mo. Exactly. So guys, we'll see you next Thursday. I think it'll probably be the last one until after Christmas. But yeah, hopefully we'll be celebrating another 3 points and climbing up the league. So yeah, cheers everyone, and we'll catch you in a little bit.